School Board, we are alive.
Thank you. Well, everyone, we packed house tonight. Big roll call.
Yes, in attendance tonight is Eric Frederickson, Patrick Brabant, and Field, Kate Saris, and Dermot Quinn.
Yeah. This evening, whereas an employee made the Board of Education submitted a letter of resignation dated March 13, 2025, selecting a retirement date. And whereas the board adopted a resolution on April 8, 2025, accepting that letter of resignation. And whereas the employee has requested to rescind her previously issued letter of resignation, and whereas the district has already planned to fill the duties previously performed by the employee. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the application by the employee to rescind her letter of resignation by does not contain the best. I ask for a motion to keep the resolution. I have a motion. A second. All those in favor? Aye. Motion. That motion carries. At this time, I'd like to congratulate Vice President Patrick Brabant for earning a Level 1 Board Achievement Award in this Board Excellence Recognition Program. This program is designed to acknowledge school board members who continually expand in governing knowledge and skills. Mr. Brabant, please stand. The entire board and the Springs community congratulate you for receiving this award and thank you for your many years of service to the Springs community. Give it to you, Patrick. Thank you. We're doing our best to maintain our continuing education the best that we can be in this position that we're going to move to public comment number 1, and as I most always do, I just like to set the table for a public commentary. Bear with me. We're going to get to the fun stuff soon and then back to. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to convene into the public comment period of our meeting. It's absolutely crucial for us to hear from our community members about their concerns and issues and appreciate all of you. While we may not be able to respond to your concerns and questions tonight, we do take them very seriously and want to have sufficient time to process and research issues so we can respond thoughtfully at a future meeting or have the proper staff member get back to you. I also want to point out that under state and federal privacy laws, we are unable to entertain any comments or questions about school personnel or any individual identity. In these matters, we would ask you to go through the appropriate administrative channels. Finally, we intend that our school board meetings serve as an example to our students, that members of our school board, members of our community can deal with controversial issues in a civil manner and demonstrate mutual respect. In that spirit, we ask that all speakers and members of the audience maintain civility, respect for any divergent views that may be expressed. We ask that speakers please address their comments to the board directly rather than the audience. Thank you very much. This time the board is going to start public commentary number 1. This is for comments anyone joining us online or tonight, agenda items only. So if you have a comment to the agenda, please come up to the podium and announce yourself.
Before we do anything, I just want to let the board know that we're having a little bit of an audio problem hearing you guys without feeling a little bit muffled. So if our callers online are having a hard time understanding, just know that we're trying to get through the technical difficulties right now. The equipment was working beforehand, but it seems to be having a problem right now. Just letting everyone know.
Is there anyone here that have any public comment?
We have one caller on the line. Do you want me to unmute them?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Hello, caller ending 8764. You're on the air. Hey.
Good evening, school board. I hope you can hear me more clearly than I can hear you. There is terrible audio problems listening both on the video directly or through the telephone. This is David Buddha. I'm calling to ask that you discuss thoroughly item 4.7, the approval of the numerous intermunicipal agreements between the Spring School District and the East Hampton School District at the appropriate time. I don't believe that I request that you take the matter off the consent agenda and that you deal with it separately and vote on the matters not as an individual. What I notice is that I follow the budget process carefully, but because of the way the detailed budget is presented, there's really no way to know what staff changes, what staff economies you're able to effect by way of parceling out nearly $300,000 worth of services to the East Hampton School District. You are about to retain a transportation coordinator from East Hampton for $75,000, a facilities director for $52,000, a business official who we know well from the budgeting process, Mr. Sam Schneider, has been involved in the budget process for 2 years now, and also about $112,000 for payroll and benefit services. Now, the other intermunicipal agreements make a lot of sense and aren't even questionable at all. The bus cleaning, bus repairs, and supplying an electrician for maintenance services on an hourly basis as needed makes a hell of a lot of sense, and certainly is going to be economizing for the East Hampton, for the Spring School District and school taxpayers. But with regard to what I think is a new position of having a East Hampton official be your transportation coordinator at a substantial salary, a facilities director at a reasonably substantial salary, and the continuation of the business official from East Hampton, when Mr. Schneider was brought in February of 2024, he was engaged, quote, to help Springs prepare its budget and manage its finances until a permanent successor to Stephen Guarini can be found. Now, obviously, you have a district treasurer and a director of operations, who I assume will continue next year. I don't know what currently you employ by way of transportation coordination and facilities directors, but what I think I'm asking is that you simply explain how this makes economic sense for Springs, what economies, what positions have been either eliminated or reduced in scope as a result of engaging in these nearly $300,000 worth of intermunicipal agreements. That's my inquiry. I hope you can hear me, and I hope I'll be able to hear you better as the meeting continues. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's our only caller.
All right, thank you, Casey. We're getting a little feedback. With our business official and treasurer, business official receiving the Business Official of the Year award in New York, as well as our treasurer accompanying them. Those business questions we'll probably answer at a later time, I would imagine.
Yes, I can just respond
to speak on?
a couple of those, Mr. Buddha. Just so you're aware, the transportation coordinator is replacing somebody who is retiring in the transportation department. We're very excited about our shared services in making sure that we're able to be more efficient and more cost effective with our transportation operation. The facilities coordinator we have had this year, and he replaced somebody that was making significantly more money than he was, who resigned from the district to take a position elsewhere. So we have a cost savings there. The business official, we need to continue at this point. Our district treasurer, who he is mentoring, is working towards his business official degree. So that business official, he needs to be here in that capacity as per state regulations until that occurs. So we are working very hard for actually being acknowledged statewide for the shared services that we've put in place on the East End as being exemplary for what the state is looking for on regionalization and sharing costs throughout the districts. We're excited we've been invited to present so that we can talk to the state about how this is working and saving districts all around money by sharing services as best we can. So we will continue to try and do that. So I hope that answers some of your questions. And please feel free to email me, Mr. Buda, as Mr. Frederickson said, our business official and our district treasurer are up at an ASBO conference. And if you email me with questions, I will be happy to respond and get back to you on those.
Thank you, Nancy, for answering that. And to just to commend our administration, you know, the state had come up with this shared services idea, and while they're still planning the roadmap for that, we had modeled that even before that happened. I think we almost, well, we have to wait for a formal plan of what that is. In terms of what was offered, we had checked nearly every box, I believe. So in terms of getting support that could be difficult to find for our school and saving money while we do it, as we pool our resources between the districts, that has been such an asset to us, both in the professionalism of our administration and our needs, to the economic savings it provides to our taxpayers. So it couldn't be a more win-win situation to have that, particularly as the state is thinking in that same way in terms of how we could be fiscally responsible budgets and how we pool resources. Springs has had that need for a long time, and we have been full throttle on executing on that, and the state is apparently recognizing that as well. So I think that was something we needed to underscore there. With regards to the rest of the public commentary, is there anyone going once, going twice that would like to come up? All right, let's move to our student recognitions. It's that time of year when we recognize some of our graduating students for their accomplishments. I ask the board and our administrators to come forward. Mr. King, please come to the podium to recognize our students for their accomplishments and service in the physical education department.
Hey everyone, good to see you. Tonight I'm going to be recognizing some students that did some really amazing things throughout this year. To start, these 5 students to my right, I'd like to recognize them for giving up their recess throughout the course of this year, almost every day, to volunteer with younger students in grades K to 3. This is a program that kind of evolved starting from last year with actually a few students that were sitting over on my left. They decided instead of going to recess that they would rather be inside and help out some of the young students, work on their skills, you know, motivate them, bring some enthusiasm, and just give some positive energy to the class. So they came in each day, they ran some tag games, they did some warm-ups under our supervision, again, brought some positive energy. It was the highlight of the day for these younger students. They would really look forward to them coming. And, you know, they looked up to them as role models. And thanks to their leadership, these younger students were able to stay active throughout class, had fun, built confidence, and they really made some meaningful connections with these students. We were very happy to have them each day. And tonight, I would like to recognize them with certificates of service in physical education. So first, Samantha Weston Rios. Lucas Gonzalez Cozar. Kayla Morocho. Isabella Tubaton. And Isabella Villa. Tonight, I'd also like to recognize two outstanding eighth graders that were asked to play a sport up at the high school level this spring. They will both be receiving certificates for excellence in athletics, and I'm very proud of both of them in the way that they represented spring school up at the high school. The first athlete is Declan Balmus. Declan was called up to play baseball at the junior varsity level this spring. His coaches said he was an excellent first baseman that came to practices and games with a positive attitude, always had excellent sportsmanship, and helped motivate his teammates. He played in 13 of the team's 16 games, batting .456, which is really good in baseball, and added 17 RBIs. Because of his success at the JV level, he was even asked to practice with the varsity during their playoff run when his season had ended. The future is very bright for Declan, and I look forward to reading about all his accomplishments in the years to come. Congratulations, Declan. And finally, we have Skylar Goulart. Come on up. Sky was asked to join the varsity track team this spring, and she had a really amazing season. At the East End Classic, which consists of all freshmen and sophomores on the East End, Sky placed third overall in the 200 meter and fourth overall in the high jump, jumping a height of 4 feet 6 inches. In the Suffolk County freshman sophomore meet, Sky was the top time for East Hampton freshmen with a time of 29.54 and sixth overall of Suffolk County freshmen in the high jump. Because she had such great scores during the season, she ended up qualifying for the Suffolk County Championship in the 100 meter and 200 meter, placing 15th in the 200 meter and 16th in the 100 meter, and that's mixed out of all different grade levels, which is really impressive. Being able to compete at this high level, this high of a level now can only mean great things are to come in the future. Congratulations, Scott. Let's go to see.
Thank you, Mr. King. Thank you, guys. Congratulations. Wow. You guys should be very proud of yourselves as we are. We can't wait to see what you do when you reach the high school level. Now we'd like to acknowledge and congratulate our 2025 valedictorians and salutatorian. Mr. Kell, please come to the podium.
Evening. Thank you guys for all your help throughout the year. Our athletes, well done. Our valedictorians, we have 4 this year and a salutatorian. And ladies, first, I just want to congratulate you all. And I'm speaking on behalf of your teachers who have put in countless hours of support. Surely your parents, your family, administrators, we're so proud of you. It warms our heart to have this group here, just looking at your accomplishments over the 2 years that I've been here. I've seen so many great things, and there's so much more to come. So congratulations to all of you. These are awards for academics, right? So your commitment to academics, your character, your perseverance, your hard work, your collaboration is all paid off. Awards, certificates, and your speeches will be coming up in a couple of weeks, and we're very excited to hear that and provide you with those awards as well. But audience and board, these ladies here, they're much more than scholars. We have athletes, we have actresses and public speakers. There's so many great attributes to this group here, and sky is the limit for all of you. I'm certain that this is, or these awards or these certificates, so this recognition that you're getting now will be one of many to come in the future. So we're very proud of you. This is our time to share with the board and introduce you to LTV so you can go back and watch as well. But we're going to call you up. We're going to get a nice photo here, and it's going to be a lovely memory for all parents. I'll share the photos with you as well. So When I call your name, if you could just stand up over there, and board, if you don't mind joining us for a photo, that would be very incredible. So we have Rafaela DeMartis. Maya Scammell. Yamaguchi. And Nadia Benozzi. Everybody, ladies, if you don't mind.
We don't mind.
All right, I'm gonna go up here. So if you look at mine first, it'll be great. Here we go. Perfect, and I'll share this with your families as well.
Do you want to go with the parents or the parents? Yeah.
Why not? Absolutely.
It's all a volunteer only basis.
We'll get it afterwards. So in front of the 7 feet, come on down. Congratulations, our veterans.
We're so proud of all of you guys for what you're doing. We're proud of you for what you did now and what we know that you'll achieve when you get to East Hampton High School. Thank you so much for your efforts and being a model and example for the school. It really does mean a lot, particularly as a school that, we have pre-K and kindergarten, they look to you guys whether you even realize it or not. And to accomplish what you have gives them something to aspire to as well. So thank you. I actually, with having said that, we're going to move to like consent agenda items and everything else. I don't want any of the students or families, if at this time, please don't feel rude. Of course, you're more than welcome to stay, but if there's homework or you received your awards and want to go, I'm giving you carte blanche to do that right now. It's totally okay, parents and students. There's no offense taking if you leave a board meeting early. And if you want to stay, we love that too.
Nice job.
All right, so we're going to move to our consent agenda items. I'd like to ask for a motion to approve items 4.1 to 4.7 on our consent agenda. Do I have a motion? Second? All right, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. We're now going to move to our business items section. I ask for motion to approve items 5.1 to 5.5 under business items in our agenda. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? All right, so for our business items 5.1 to 5.5, do we have any questions? Our business officials are at the ASBO conference. As we mentioned before, Mr. Schneider is receiving the Business Official of the Year award. If there are any questions, especially in detail, Ms. Carney will get back to you once they return. But is there anything that you've seen here that, at least on a basic level, that you would like to ask right now? No, they're pretty good. Okay. Yeah, we always do thoroughly look through these things, and we understand most of it. Sometimes if there's a question that we need to, tonight we don't. So all those in favor? Aye. All right. Any opposed? No. Motion carries. But at this time, there's an opportunity for the PTA to come up. There's a representative here tonight.
If she.
Oh, wonderful. I just want to say, actually, just before you go over the many accolades, that we recognize how much our PTA provides for our students and staff throughout the year. And I'd like to thank you and every member of the PTA for your dedication and hard work. You guys have done some incredible things this year for not just our students in our building and our staff as well,
So I'm just excited to hear, already what we know is amazing, but it's great for you to share it with the community as well.
Well, thank you for having me. First time speaking here, so forgive me if I go off topic from the usual review. So first and foremost, I just wanted to say we personally had a record-breaking year for our fundraising, which is going to set us up really nicely for next year in a capacity we've never had the ability to provide before. We are voting on our budget next week, which everyone is welcome to come and see each line item individually, but just to give a few key things that we're working on. We have specifically increased funding for PARP for next year in hopes that the PTA can cover the cost of all the incentives each week for each children, both in fall and in spring. We have increased our scholarships. This year, we were able to give 2 scholarships to graduating 8th graders and 2 scholarships to graduating East Hampton High School seniors that were spring school alumni. Part of that application process to us was that we were privy to what the potential expenses of their college education would cost. And what we were giving felt like it probably wouldn't even cover a book. So we have quadrupled the cost of those, the amount that they'll be receiving in those scholarships. So high school seniors hopefully will actually have a contribution to their higher education directly from the school they came from. We are also drastically increasing our field trip budget. We are proposing to add an additional $15,500 to that budget, the majority of which will go hopefully towards the 8th grade overnight trip. It was presented to us this year by several parents that is a really large undertaking for a lot of families. And this past year, we were able to contribute about $100 per student. Sounds like a lot, but in the grand scheme of the cost of this trip really didn't make a dent. So we are proposing next year that we cover roughly $175 per student. So we've increased just the 8th grade budget by almost $7,000. And we've also added a full line item for pre-K for next year. Now that they're under school purview as opposed to scope, we've been trying to increase activations for them each year. This will allow us to provide them with what we consider field trips, but they're not allowed to actually go anywhere. So we will be bringing the field trips to them. So this covers enrichments that they don't receive or aren't able to receive from the school itself. So music classes on a monthly basis, art programming, hopefully things like bringing something like Go on a Boat to them. We had a Jackson Pollock program this year, so we'll continue to do that hopefully in a much more thorough manner next year. And then aside from our typical activities that we normally do every school year, this past year, we were able to purchase a kiln for the art department. And there is a bit of funding left for them to purchase supplies for that kiln for next year. So there's a line item for the art department next year to keep building on that program. We were able to contribute to replacing the milk fridge that we were able to plant a garden in the courtyard thanks to a grant that we obtained from a group called Rewild. Thanks to Dermot for all of his help with that and helping us plant a very, very heavy tree. In addition to the stuff I mentioned for pre-K next year, we're also hoping to contribute to small things that get them very excited, like our community helpers program, where we have the fire department, the police department, just local community helpers come explain who they are, what they do, how they help our community. We also were able to do things like bringing them yoga classes and tennis clinics. So we're going to continue to keep doing all of that. In addition to that, we are adding or proposing to add to what I consider large items to our lineup for next year. One is going to be custom paving stone fundraiser, which was actually one of the obviously brilliant ideas from Megan Payne before she passed, where people have the opportunity to purchase a custom engraved paving stone that will end up making a walking path from one courtyard door through the garden to the other courtyard door. So we're hoping to launch that in September. And then also bringing a program to our community. We are sort of debating between two. One is called the Grit Ninja program, which both Montauk School and John Marshall already bring to their school. It's an outdoor physical engagement program for children completely at no cost. Families are welcome as well. And the other one that we are working with is trying to get the Long Island Rough Riders to come out here and do a soccer exhibit and something interactive. Soccer seems like quite a popular activity for our community, and we're hoping that that will help us engage a broader scope of community members than who we see at normal activities. Just as a side note for everyone, voting to approve our budget will happen at our last meeting, which is next week on the 17th in this room at 6:30. Please come. In order to vote, you need to be a currently registered member of the PTA. If you're not sure if you're registered or not, you can just go onto the Give Back website and enter your name. If you're already registered, it won't allow you to put anything new in your cart, so to speak. So you can check that way. At that meeting, we're also voting for our new board for next year. I will be staying on as president. Carolyn Cromer will be staying on as treasurer, and Leah Moulturner will be staying on as one of 2 secretaries. Nominations are open if anyone would like to join us as co-president, vice president, or as our second secretary. At a bare minimum, we have the 3 positions we need in order to maintain our 501c3 status and recognition with the state. So the PTA will continue to exist regardless of what other nominations we receive. Nominations are due by this Friday, the 13th. Please email them to the general PTA email address and come vote. In order to vote for board members, you also need to be a registered and paid up on your dues member of the PTA. And that's it.
Thank you.
Thank
very
you
much.
so much. Yeah. Sound like great ideas too. I can't wait to see what transpires next year. Thank you again. We're going to move to our superintendent's report and recommendations now. We have a number of recognitions as well as our report on our district goals, which is a very important board objective that using the information from tonight's feedback will help us set new district goals for next year. And I think it's important that we recap on progress that we've made and opportunities to learn so that we have informed decisions as the board takes a role in helping decide what is important to the school and to be able to specifically define that. So we create a roadmap for administration through to our staff to follow and achieve. So with that said, I ask for a motion to approve items 7.1 to 7.7 under the superintendent's report and recommendations. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? All right, thank you. Nancy, can you please review these items for us?
Yes, before I begin, I do just want to thank Danielle and the PTA. I am really in awe. I've been in education for a long time, and this PTA contributes so much to this district, to our students, to our staff, to the community. I just want to give you a round of applause. And I just want to begin. First, we do have a retiree. She's not able to be here this year, but I just want to mention her name. Her name is Marion Flaherty, and she has been our head bus driver for over a decade. And she will be retiring. We do have flowers and a proclamation for her, which I will bring her tomorrow morning. But I just want to thank her for her dedication and her to the district and her service to all of our students. So thank you, Marion Flaherty. And then at this point, this is one of my favorite things to do as a superintendent. I get to observe those teachers and staff members, teaching assistants that are up for tenure. And that's after 3 or 4 long years of service to the district, proving themselves, being observed, being given evaluations, being mentored, being given guidance to become highly qualified educators. And we have 3 of them tonight that I'm very honored to be presenting flowers to and to be asking the board to approve their tenure. So the first one is going to be Morgan Bach. Morgan is receiving tenure in visual arts, and I must say it was just absolutely a pleasure to be in your class and observe you, as I'm sure the other administrators will agree. Thank you. Thank you. We welcome you. Okay. Our next employee is Morgan Mann, and Morgan Mann is being given tenure in physical education and health. And I must say it was really a beautiful, really special time for me to observe her lesson. It was so well done and so professional, and it was an honor to be in your class, Morgan. And the last, I did have the flowers be blue and white, Matt. But I must say, Matt is being given tenure as a teaching assistant in this district. He's here, I get here early in the morning. Matt is always here. He's here late in the afternoon. Not only does he provide very special service to some of our students with special needs, he goes above and beyond. And he's here early morning, meeting our students before school even starts. He coaches, he's involved at chaperoning and sports events. He is such a dedicated employee, and it is truly my honor that Matt is receiving tenure. So congratulations.
Yeah.
We're fortunate to have you all here, and we really look forward to working with you for many years to come. Okay, so we also have a couple of appointments. We are appointing Jean Marie Mazzaffaro as a special education teacher. She was a leave replacement, replacing an employee that is no longer here. She did an incredible job. We received really good reviews about her, and we're very happy she's going to continue working here. The next appointment we have is for custodial worker 1, who is also replacing somebody that retired, and we're very glad that he is a local community member that lives close by. He comes with really great credentials, so we're fortunate to welcome him to the Springs community as well. And then at this time, we just want to go over some of our district goals. The board has asked us to, the board and the former administration created district goals back in 2022, 2023. Those are the goals that we've been working on. And the board asked us to give an update on where we are with those goals, what we may need to update, change, if we've been successful, if we move on to new goals. So Mr. Pelt and I are going to tag team and present those goals based on different aspects of our school operation. So we can go here. The first goal that the Board of Education had for the district was to increase social, emotional, behavioral, mental, and physical health in the district. And Mr. Pelt is just going to discuss that for a little bit, where we are and where we may need to go.
Thank you, Nancy. And so this goal obviously was set, like Nancy said, in the time frame of the 2022-23 school year, the return from COVID. As an administrator through that transition, it was a very intense and specific time that had to be very well planned out. And while social, emotional, behavioral, mental, and physical health are all extremely important to us today, it was even more so then. And so some of these goals that you'll see, or part of these goals, are a little bit out of date, but it doesn't mean that what we're going to be adjusting or working to moving forward won't align specifically to this goal or to the overall general theme of the goal. What we do have already in place for our students, we have multiple programs, and if you want to forward to the next one. So we do have DARE, we have Second Step, Banana Splits, we have a mentor program where our students are somewhat buddied up with an educator in the school who checks in on them, supports them, is their biggest cheerleader. We have guidance social work, we have school psychologists. We do multiple in-school presentations, whether it's from teachers, administrators. We have a really great one coming up on June 16th, Jared Campbell. He'll be here, who will be making songs, encouraging our kids, and really just bringing the community together and celebrating positive behaviors, etc. We do, at this point throughout the year, we've gotten here now over the summer as we finish up, we're going to go back to analyze the programs that we have, see what's working, how can we improve what we are currently having, what we currently have in place, and then how we can make adjustments along the way as well. We had a communications committee meeting today, but we also have all these other great committees on or within the school and with the Board of Education. So we do have a wellness committee. It would be great to sort of lean on them to try to hone in on that goal. And then throughout the next school year, there's a clear path for that committee to work towards and to make sure we're hitting all of our social, emotional, and physical needs of our students and staff.
Okay, so goal 2 is to improve governance and communication. And as you can see, this is really about working as a district, and this is something very important to me, to look at how we communicate within the district. I think it's been something that has been brought to our attention that we need more of. We need better communication with our staff, with our community, and it's an ongoing goal and something I think when we start working on these as a board that we're going to continue. It's not something that we've actually reached yet, but something that we have to keep working on. And one of the things we've been doing this year is just that we have a very new administration. So we're looking on figuring out a chain of command so that people know who to go to with different issues and problems. I'm trying really hard not to to let other people solve problems and not just to try to deal with things by myself. It's an issue I have sometimes. But anyway, we're working really hard to establish those chains of commands so people know who to go to. It's teaching and working in a school district, whatever department it is, whether it's transportation, whether it's whether it's the facilities department, whether it's teaching assistants, whether it's teachers. It's a lot of work, and there are daily things that happen that people need support with. And we want to give people a clear idea of where they need to go and who they need to talk to when they need to support. It's very, very important, as well as parents. And it's very important for parents to know who to call when they have a concern or an issue. And one of our goals going forward that is a goal here, but that we really are continuing to work on now and hope to have in place at the start of the school year is having a parent handbook, having a staff handbook. We hope to have a parent handbook by open house, so parents know exactly in that, what is the code of conduct, who do they call if they have an issue, whether it's with registration, if they have an issue with transportation, who should they call? Because it can be very confusing when you call the school and you have all different directories and places of where you're supposed to go. So we're trying to make it clearer so that we think it's very important. It's an issue that has come up, that it's frustrating sometimes for parents not knowing how to contact people. And the same with staff. We want our staff to have a handbook so that they know all the proper procedures to put in place, whether it's for timesheets, end of year, different things, all those things that there's a lot of forms, there's a lot of paperwork when it comes to teaching, when are assessments due for students, curriculum, lesson planning, all the expectations that we have for staff within the district. We want it in a handbook so that it's very clear. And it's something both Mr. Kelp and our other administrators, along with myself and teachers, are working on together. Always wanting to increase community outreach. We have started doing a little bit. We did do a presentation at the Springs Community Advisory Committee this year for the budget presentation. It was very well received, and we want to do more of that. I think it's really important getting out to, they appreciate it so much. Just getting out to the community, letting them know what's going on here. We so appreciate the support of this community for the school district. It's important they know what we're doing and that their tax dollars are being well spent, and that they're really supporting the students and the programs that we have here at Spring School. And we do have board committees. One of the things we need to work on is having more specific goals for those committees and making sure that, sometimes less is more, and having the committees have a specific goal in place that we can really measure and see if we were able to reach that goal through the end of the year. So those are the things that we are working on in governance and communication. This is one of the areas that we do need continual improvement on. Mr. Pelt. Okay. Oh, no, okay. Oh, that was goal 2. Oh, that's what I just said, yeah. Okay. Oh, this is me, okay, so this is an area where I think we've actually accomplished quite a bit this year. And this is engaged in strategic planning for fiscal responsibilities and facilities. We've worked in collaboration with the Buildings and Grounds Committee this year on really looking at what projects needed to be done to maintain our building. Something very important, making sure the inner workings of the building, the boiler systems, the heating, the air conditioning, all those things are working. They're being maintained, that we have proper contracts in place, whether it's with our groundskeepers outside, especially maintaining. As anyone knows that has a home, it's really important to maintain the building, to maintain the inner workings so that it doesn't cost you more in the long run. So we worked very hard on that. Also, the Buildings and Grounds team did a walkthrough looking at all different projects that needed to be worked on based on what is allowable through our repair reserve fund. There's very specific things. You can go to the next slide that are involved with that. The repair reserve fund can be used for anything that's decayed, deteriorated, weathered, broken, torn, or inoperable. And we walked around as a committee, looked at the different things that we can do, and we've accomplished, I think, a great deal of work this year, from replacing lockers, the bus loop, getting all the dead trees out outside, even the library here, all new shades with all the blinds that were broken throughout the building, all this asbestos. We've already removed a lot of asbestos, and we did tile. This summer, the rest of the asbestos in the building is being remediated and new tile put down. So that will be the end of the asbestos in the building. We're very happy for that. And I think a lot of thanks to the Buildings and Grounds Committee and the Board of Education for supporting the work that we've done. Also, very fortunately, at the budget vote in May, the vote is approved to create a new repair reserve fund, which is going to enable us over all the years ahead to put money in that repair reserve so that we have a savings account for when things do go wrong with the building. We're able to repair them with no additional cost to the taxpayers. This is an old building, it's a beautiful building, and it's very important for us to maintain it and have a nice environment for our staff, for our students. So we really appreciate the community for approving that, and we appreciate the board for all their support. The other area with business, we were charged really in a goal from going back a couple of years. We had a lot of turnover in the business department previously. So there were a lot of things that really needed to be streamlined and updated and improved upon. The district was susceptible to fiscal distress in prior years, and we've been able to get out of that. We are no longer designated in fiscal distress. We've put in a lot of new systems. Thanks to our shared service with East Hampton, to our district treasurer for working together. We've been able to streamline the budget and really get the budget under control. We've been very fiscally responsible. We're ending up with a good, solid fund balance this year so that we will no longer be in fiscal distress. And the most important thing and that we want to do is make sure that we don't have ups and downs over the year and that we have a balanced budget so that we can stay within the tax levy limit and be really responsible to our taxpayers while keeping our programs for our students. So this is an area that we feel like we've been very successful in so far. And I'll go for student achievement.
So goal 4, bring student achievement back to pre-COVID levels. I just have to say this quickly. Whenever anyone asks me how Springs or how is it over there, when I'm on Shelter Island or just anyone that I'm talking to, I always start with, we just have the best students. We absolutely have the best students around. They are just amazing every level. What I don't say quite enough also is that we also have a really, really, really great staff of dedicated educators. And as you'll see, we are back and we're actually above the pre-COVID levels. If you go to the next slide, not to say that we don't have growth. And Eric, we were actually talking about this today. There's always going to be academic goals that we're going to strive for. We're always going to try to get better and better and better. And this is something now where we're putting our school in a really great spot where we're not going to say we're going to have 100% proficient by the end of next year, but we can start creating 3 to 5 year academic goals to say by the time we get to this level, or to this point in time, we are going to be at this level. And it's exciting because the foundation and the base is there. And as the school is progressing under our new administration, we're very confident. We're just on that like tipping point, ready to take off in a really great direction. And I'm very confident in that. As you can see, based upon the pre-COVID, the last assessments that we have from the state, we were ELA at 50% proficient, 44% in terms of math. We jumped to 52% proficient at this point based on last year's data. In ELA, 54% in math. We're right there in math with state average. We're above the average in ELA, as you have seen, as we presented before throughout the course of this year as well. And so there a lot goes into this. Not only does great teaching every single day in our classrooms occur, but there's other things that we do as a school to get our students to not only to grade level, but those who are already at grade level, push them even further. So we do have early morning help session that takes place here every day by Ms. McCauley. She comes in 0 period, which is before school starts, helps students who may need help with extra homework or support with their studies. We have an MTSS program so that all students receive the education they need at their specific level, along with AIS for any students who may have not performed as well as they wanted or we wanted on the state assessments. We will catch them up throughout the course of the year by additional services and targeted interventions. We have a fantastic ENL program where our students not only learn the English language, but excel in all academic areas. And then we have our instructional planning. This is sort of our next piece that we're looking to master as we progress. So we want to make sure that all of our systems, our educational procedures and processes are aligned. And the way to do that, Richard DeFore puts it very easy. It's basically, what do we want students to know or learn? That is our standards. How do we know that they're learning it? That's how we assess them. What do we do if they don't learn? And what do we do if they already learn? So those 4 simple questions are going to be our framework and how we're going to move forward. And in doing so, we're going to start over the summer with curriculum mapping, where we're going to take a look at the standards, prioritize the standards, and vertical align. And so through that, we're going to have a clear process, scope and sequences, assessments, and teachers will have a great chance to get a head start on that planning. We've invested in a program called Atlas, where that's an online curriculum mapping program based upon the conversations and the demonstrations that we had and the small time that we were able to play with it. Is going to be a great way to house all of our academic materials, where I, as an educator, can go in and look at plans, look at curriculum, look at maps from other teachers, as well as progress and update and change throughout the year. So even if a teacher was to retire or leave next year, their plans will be there, shared with their teams and with the school. So we could always use that as a basis to move forward and just continue to grow and adjust each year based upon students' needs. So we're excited for that. And then we'll just continue to monitor, continue to be responsive to our students' needs, and not only bring those up who need it, but also push those who are already mastering the standards to higher levels than they've ever been. So great things to come academically, and we'll go from there.
So just moving forward, the board and the administration, we're going to be meeting in the summer in early fall, as the board has requested, to really look at our goals, see where we've been, look at the goals that we want to have as a board. There are many more goals than just curriculum as well. And one of the things I love about Springs is all the other experiences we provide for our kids. And one of the things we do want to do with this curriculum mapping software is make sure that our kids have experiences K-8. So we know what field trips they get to go on, what they see in the community. So we can look, and we want to be sure all of our kids get to go to New York City at sometimes, get to see all the nature and different opportunities they have here on the East End. So all of that is going to be in this software as well. And the nice part about it is any teacher can go online and look and say, oh, what did they learn in first grade? What books did they read? What field trips did they go on? And you could actually look at that to make sure you're building upon it on the next grade. So it's both vertically and horizontally aligned. And it's really good that it will all be in one place. And you can also look and say, well, if our kids didn't do well in this certain standard, where did we teach that standard? And it automatically shows you where you taught that standard. So you can see, oh, we need to strengthen this in this grade or this grade. And we think it's going to be a really great tool for our teachers. And it's something that we're excited to do, to look for a well-rounded education for our kids, to make sure they don't go to the same place every year if they're going on a field trip, and to make sure that all of our kids get a broad range of experiences, that they're being challenged academically, that we're providing them with proper instruction to be successful, and also providing them with the special experiences that only happen here at Spring School. So this is just the board goals are going to be determined as we work during the summer and the fall. And it's just, here that we do want a roadmap, and we want a roadmap for where we're going so that we can really be constantly assessing how we're doing and making sure that we're constantly improving for our students and for the community.
Oh, thank you both so much for this. It's something we've needed for a while, this readout. I know personally, it was really helpful to me. I think it's something that the parents and community, if you set goals in the beginning, it can help form your roadmap. But unless we have a readout like this at the end, we don't really know where the destination was and did we stop short along the way, or how do we define success for our school, and how are we allocating our resources, and what meaningful outcomes are we getting? This was tremendously helpful to me, and I think it's going to inform, goals are something that you realize them, you refine them, they're recurring, they happen in different forms. And I can see now that some of these goals, like we might have had a stopping point on, but, there's more work to be done, but we have some measured progress now, both qualitatively and quantitatively. And it's just going to inform us as to what we need to do moving forward. So I know for one that I appreciate this very much, and I'm looking forward to refining them and creating some new ones, probably in late summer, early fall, that we can measure ourselves against, and also keep the parents informed in terms of. I think this has come up over the last couple of years. How do we know the goals have been realized, or informing the community as to a point of view, and seeing how financial resources are being dispersed in the school and what successes we have. Sometimes you have a program and it's successful, but this is also giving us a place to inform ourselves where our program's currently working. Is a tradition just kept because it's been something we're used to, or is it working? And it's forcing us to evaluate and make decisions. And like Mr. Kelt said, that we're starting to get an enablement to create a multi-year academic plan, so that we become less reactive and more proactive. So this was fantastic. Do the board members have any comments or questions on what was presented? Or yeah.
Thank you. Just want to end with our reorg meeting, if it's okay with the board, would be July 8th, which is the second Tuesday in July.
Yeah.
Which we'll post, and then we'll create our board meetings for the following year.
Wonderful. All right. So let's make the appointments and tenures official tonight. Do I have a motion? All those in favor of approving 7-1 through 7-7? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right. Motion carries. Congratulations to our. And thank you again for that outstanding report. At this time, we'll move to our final public comment. This can be anything that was not on the agenda tonight. Is there anyone LTV or present tonight that would like to approach the podium for our final public comment? Any takers online, LTV?
We have no callers on the line.
Can you turn on the TV?
It should be coming out of this.
Okay.
Yeah, we have
Oh,
no
wow.
callers on the line.
It seems to be good out there. Okay.
I'm texting.
We got the okay.
No, that was before. Oh, yeah.
Are they there?
Up to check.
They might not be there. So.
Okay.
Should be.
I think
I'm good.
we bored them over here.
Well, I was,
He's checking. He thinks so.
it looks like we don't have any takers for final public comment. So at this time, I'm going to make a motion to adjourn our meeting tonight. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
We have no
All those in
callers.
favor? Aye. Any opposed? No. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned. Thank you everyone very much.
Oh,